Alright, how's it going, everyone? It's Triple T. I finished my family medicine rotation and had a great time with it. I'd like to take a moment to describe my experiences. This was a 4-week rotation at a private office. I worked from 9 till 5 from Monday through Friday. The attendings did give students an option to leave early on some days. I missed 2 days to attend OMED and was not asked to make up those days. This was a very chill rotation for me. There were plenty of visitors, but there were other medical professionals and students to lighten the burden. I had plenty of time to prepare for my shelf while on site. A lot of patients were there for annual wellness checks. It entailed a simple review of their medical history, meds, allergies, surgeries, any changes to any of those things, complaints at the current visit, a brief physical exam, and blood work. Some other procedures I would perform include vaccinations, EKGs, urine analysis, and H. pylori breath test. The attendings were nice in that they allowed me to choose which patients I wanted to see, unless there were too many patients overwhelming the volume in the office. The sick visits were the greatest learning tools for me on this rotation. Some suspected presentations I encountered include cholecystitis, femoral acetabular impingement, viral infections, UTI, and kidney stones. I did see some anomalous conditions in patients presenting for an annual, including neurofibromatosis type 1, Epstein anomaly, and a benign tumor that has been cited in literature less than 30 times. The attendings were very receptive to questions about patients and appreciated students helping them. They gave several compliments on my performance regardless of solicitation and constructive feedback, if I asked for it. I felt very comfortable in the office. If I were in a hospital setting for family medicine, I would not imagine that I would feel the same level of essentiality in delivering patient care. Due to the personalized experience, I felt extremely comfortable with asking one of the doctors for a letter of recommendation. Not only were the doctors great, but the staff were too. They taught me all of the aforementioned procedural skills I needed for this rotation, and they were pleasant to work with. Patients, too, were very nice. One of the best parts of this rotation, my personal opinion, was giving the OMT. There were a few patients with musculoskeletal complaints, most commonly the neck and the back. I even saw a patient that had scapular winging after an injury, not to be confused with the wing and scapula diagnosis itself. But there was also another patient with hip pain and pain in their lower back. I felt very active in patient care when I would relieve patients and restore the range of motion. And this told me that I really like the instant results of medicine. When it comes to drawbacks of the rotation, there are only three I can identify at this time. So the biggest one for me was the commute. For reference, the rotation site is about 25 miles from my house. I would hit some moderate traffic going and get decimated coming home. On the days that I avoid the crowd due to the religious holidays, it would be about 45 minutes to get there and an hour 15 to get home. But those days were far and few, unfortunately. Most of the time, it would be about hour 15 there and an hour 50 to get home. And sometimes the civilians would just walk in front of my car, and there would be other drivers that were blocking the critical intersections. And if I refused to become part of the problem, well, I'd get honked at. But after getting up for an 8-hour rotation, there's also an extra layer of exhaustion that's kind of unwarranted, undeserved. So I didn't get to study that much outside of the rotation site just because of how long the day was. I did do well, but it's just like it wasn't really, it just wasn't really necessary. Issue number two was that the parking was paid, so there was a lot right next to the building, so it would be about $12 Monday through Thursday if you arrived before 9, and $22 on a Friday or Monday through Thursday any other time outside the early bird special. So if you have financial difficulties, then this might cause some acute distress for you. The last thing was that I didn't get to learn as much from the attendings as I would have hoped for. They were very busy with seeing patients both in person and virtually, so it made the opportunities to learn from them much more challenging. But I am cognizant that they do have to run a business too, so I can't fault them at all for this. To summarize, I strongly recommend my rotation. The office atmosphere made for a highly enjoyable experience, and I had plenty of time to complete questions. Additionally, there were several opportunities to refine my OMT skills. The transportation was frustrating, but the rotation itself was very pleasant. It gave me a sense of purpose that motivates me to continue down my path towards becoming a doctor. Sick visits helped me learn, and I had lots of opportunities to do blood draws and work on other procedural skills. After this rotation, I am more open-minded towards doing family medicine in the future. This was my family medicine rotation review. I may or may not do something for my ambulatory IM elective, but regardless, I will see you all in my next video.